The room went silent when Selena Gomez said it out loud. Not in a headline, not in a lyric, in her own voice. Calm, reflective, and final. I don't want my past to define me anymore. And that one sentence is why fans are spiraling right now. Because if you read between the lines, it sounds like Selena is officially closing the door on the most talked about relationship of her life, and fully choosing the future she's building with Benny Blanco. But what really pushed her to speak so openly now? And why are some fans convinced this was a subtle but intentional message aimed straight at Justin Bieber? Stay with us, because the deeper you go into Selena's recent words, the more emotional this story becomes. Selena Gomez has spent the last few years doing something very few celebrities manage to do successfully, quietly redefining herself. While the internet stayed obsessed with old drama, Selena was building an empire, healing in public, and rewriting what success looks like on her own terms. At a recent high-profile event, Selena wasn't there to talk about Justin, heartbreak, or tabloid chaos. She was there to talk about rare beauty, mental health, and community. But as always, the past found a way to creep into the conversation. When Selena reflected on her journey, she didn't sound bitter. She sounded resolved. She talked about mistakes. She talked about pain that still lingers. And she talked about learning the hard way that love doesn't fix what you haven't healed. Fans immediately connected the dots. Because for over a decade, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber weren't just a couple. They were a cultural moment. Their on-again, off-again relationship played out in real time. Paparazzi photos, cryptic Instagram posts, lyrics that felt like diary entries. Breakups followed by reconciliations that gave fans hope all over again. But behind the scenes, Selena has now admitted that she was losing herself trying to hold on to something that wasn't stable. And that realization didn't come overnight. She's been honest about the toll it took on her mental health. The pressure, the scrutiny, the feeling that every emotion she experienced was being consumed, judged, and monetized by the internet. And when Selena says now that her past still hurts her, fans believe her. Because that pain wasn't private. It was global. But here's where things shift. Selena didn't stop at acknowledging the hurt. She made something very clear. She no longer wants to live there. She described her past as something she's actively choosing to leave behind. Not erase, not deny, but stop letting it control her future. And for many fans, that's the strongest statement she's ever made. So what changed? Enter Benny Blanco. Unlike Selena's previous high-profile relationships, this one didn't explode onto the internet with dramatic debuts or flashy red carpets. It unfolded slowly, quietly, almost intentionally under the radar. And according to Selena, that's exactly the point. She's described Benny as someone who makes her feel safe. Not excited in a chaotic way. Not anxious. Safe. And that word keeps coming up when she talks about him. Safety, peace, comfort. Things she admits she didn't fully understand before. Selena has said that with Benny, she doesn't feel like she has to perform. She doesn't have to be Selena Gomez every second of the day. She can be a regular person. Laugh in the kitchen, watch movies, exist without pressure. And fans immediately noticed how different this sounded from how she spoke about love in the past. This isn't passion fueled by intensity. This is stability fueled by trust. And that contrast is why fans believe Selena's recent comments weren't random. They feel intentional, almost like closure spoken out loud. Now here's where the fandom splits. Some fans feel a deep sense of relief. They've watched Selena struggle for years and believe this chapter is exactly what she deserves. Others aren't ready to let go of the JELENA era and feel emotional hearing her refer to that time as a mistake. And that sparked massive debate online. So let us ask you directly. Do you think Selena calling her past painful is a subtle way of finally closing the Justin chapter for good? Or do you think fans are reading too much into her words? As the conversation continues, what's impossible to ignore is how much Selena has changed. Not just emotionally, but professionally. Rare Beauty wasn't built as just another celebrity brand. She launched it with a mission before knowing whether it would even succeed. Inclusivity, accessibility, mental health. Those weren't marketing buzzwords. They were personal. She's been open about her health struggles, from a kidney transplant to arthritis, and how those experiences shaped the brand's packaging and design. She wanted products people could actually use. People who feel overlooked. People who don't see themselves reflected in traditional beauty standards. And that mindset carries into everything she does now. Even when asked about online beauty trends, AI face edits, and impossible standards being pushed onto young girls, Selena didn't flinch. She called it creepy. She expressed concern. And she doubled down on her belief that beauty shouldn't be about perfection. That's important, because it ties directly into her personal evolution. Selena isn't trying to convince anyone that she's flawless. She's doing the opposite. She's telling people she's human. That she's bipolar. That she's still learning. That healing isn't linear. And that even when you're famous, heartbreak doesn't magically disappear. Her documentary My Mind and Me was one of the rawest celebrity projects in recent years. And looking back on it now, Selena says she's grateful she's no longer in that place. She doesn't want people to think she's still that version of herself. That statement alone says everything about how far she's come. But it also raises another question. Is Selena finally ready to be seen for who she is now, instead of who the public remembers her as? Because the internet loves nostalgia. It loves old couples, old drama, old wounds. But Selena seems focused on something else entirely. Family, impact, longevity, and a relationship that doesn't require chaos to feel real. She's even talked about forcing her husband at charity events to bid on the most expensive items because she wants to help as many people as possible. That's the energy she's on now. Purpose over performance. And yet, no matter how much she grows, the shadow of her past still follows her. Every interview, every quote, every appearance. Which is why her words carry so much weight. She's not attacking anyone. She's not naming names. She's simply stating her truth. That she searched for something in someone else she needed to find in herself first. And for many viewers, that's the most relatable thing she's ever said. So here's the big question. Do you think Selena Gomez is finally at peace? Or do you believe the public will ever let her fully move on? As this new chapter unfolds, one thing is clear. Selena isn't running from her past. She's rising above it. And whether fans are ready or not, she's writing the rest of her story on her own terms. And if you think this revelation is powerful, wait until you hear what insiders are saying about how this could impact her music, her brand, and her future projects. That's coming up next on Celeb Juices. Make sure you're subscribed, because you won't want to miss what's brewing behind the scenes.